Hello friends, it's your buddy Nick here with Game with the Guys. I have got my hands on a little game called Bloodborne, so let's check it out together. Alright, oh. What? Alright, well, we'll check it out in an offline mode. I don't know how I need to fully install it. Let's see. Well, I do know that things on YouTube do not show up as bright as they need to, so let's go ahead and put the brightness up. Wait, no. Yeah, no, that's what... Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, I'm so glad that they gave me this option in advance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, this all looks good.
Oh, yeah. Pale blood. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
All right, a contract. All right, so let's start with entering our name here. Oh, it does not want to let me do my little standard way of doing this. But anyway, let's go ahead, and if you've watched any of my playthroughs before, you know that every time that I start a game, I must start with Tadpole. My brother's trying to... Oh. My brother is trying to call me at the moment, but I cannot answer the phone right now. So, these are some interesting new options here. I'll go with young. Let's go young. Well, let's see how it looks for aged. Could I... Oops, let's zoom out. Doesn't... Kind of wants to zoom in at the torso, but I like the look of young better. Origin. Okay, and earlier this morning I actually went through the character creation just to check it out, and I thought that this was way cooler than how they did it in Demon Souls or Dark Souls, with this, you know, saying like what your background was rather than are you a warrior, are you a sorcerer, and so I mean it basically gets to the same point, but you know it doesn't really change. You know, it's a different idea of starting out, because you basically get the same starting equipment no matter which one of these you choose, but it gives you a different sense of who you are versus starting as a sorcerer. But anyway, let's quickly read through these. Milquetoast. Ordinary, happy, upbringing, all attributes average. Looks pretty good. Lone survivor of the lost hamlet, high life essence and vigor. All right, so that's higher vitality, which is going to be with your hit points and whatnot. So what do we have next here? Troubled childhood, suffered misfortune in youth, highly resilient as a result. Okay. Violent past, terribly violent past, rash but stronger for it. And so you see that kind of brings your strength up a lot higher. And then some of the skill, the blood tinge and the arcane, and I don't really know what those things do yet. I think that strength and skill are kind of like your strength and your dexterity builds, but I don't know yet. Okay, professional. Born specialist. Fit for sleuthing or academia. And that's going to be more your dexterity build, it appears there. All right, military veteran, experience in war, soldier with strength and skill. So, more strength, more skill. Blood tinge is lower, arcane is lower, and I'm not sure what those things mean yet. So we're gonna have to find that out together. Noble scion. Scion to a respectable line with faith in your pedigree. And that brings your skill is higher, your blood tinge is higher, but your vitality, endurance, and strength are much lower. Cruel fate. Face terrible hardships, but now confident in your purpose. So that has your arcane much higher, and arcane makes me think of sorcery, but any of the previews for this game, I haven't seen anything that shows any kind of wizarding of any kind. So I don't know what arcane, if this is your, basically your equivalent to a sorcerer. And the last one is waste of skin. You are nothing, talentless, you shouldn't have been born. And you'll see that all the other ones have a level of 10. Waste of skin is down at 4. And that actually might be the best one to start with, in my opinion. Blood Echoes, I think it's like souls in the Souls series. It's your currency. So starting out with Blood Echoes, I don't think is very important. I think, actually, instead of doing Waste of Skin, I'm going to do Milk Toast. And so, your appearance here, and there's a lot of different customization. And so I chose young there earlier, but this was intriguing. So voice, do you actually speak in this game? Or is this just more for... oh, there's a sample button. Let's check it out. Oh, okay, so it's just... just being damaged. I'm going H voice. That shit was hilarious. And as you saw before, I am making Tadpole. So very slim is usually how Tadpole is, but there's not a huge difference there. And burly, you know, not that big of a difference between the very slim to the burly, and then very burly, you're so muscular, and the big upper body, small head, large head, but very slim. So this is very cool that you can actually, I could make the head much smaller if I wanted. Actually, I think you can go like this, or do I want to do very slim with a massive head? But it doesn't get too big of a difference. So let's just put it back in the middle, or I'll just hit that. Base skin color. So what I don't like about this is on the left here, you can't really see what color skin these are. So you kind of just have to run through, and there's quite the range. From very dark to very light here on this right side tends to be your lighter, and then these are kind of the darker tones here, and then in between here, I like this one here. Let's go with that. And then you can obviously with this, oh my god, look at how much you could do, so much customization. But I kind of want to get through this. I don't want to say quickly, but we'll say relatively quickly. And so very thin nose, thin jaw. I wonder if you can do, so you can kind of, oh, I like that one. That one's pretty good. And let's see. I don't change too much. It doesn't really have anything that's, like a random. I always like random. And so you can do some changing here. I'll just leave that the way that is. Change your shape, skin color, facial hair. And so I think, I wanted to see, yeah, it looks like, yeah, for women, no beards allowed, apparently. That's unfortunate. I saw this and I thought this was very cool that you can do the left and right eye different colors. So, as I recall, Tadpole has red eyes. So let's, oops, get to this. We'll make that one red, and I like the idea of having two different colored eyes. Oops. I did not save it. I hit circle instead of X, so it did not save that. We'll save that one, and then so here, maybe like a yellow. Can I put a little, ooh, like a white one? Oh, that's crazy stuff. Okay, let's go with that. And I do want to change the hair color because Tadpole has white hair. So we can get crazy, and, you know, white is having every color added to it. So right now it looks just super weird. But adding this in, and then we kind of get the white. Wow, that is quite the schnoz. And there's different hairstyles we can try out here. And I like how it... that is weird hair. And as you switch from one to the other, it kind of... You get a little flowing of the hair. Kind of... Oh, but it was doing it before. Yeah, some of these, when you first get onto them, they'll kind of... You'll see there it flops into place. And I really liked this one. So let's go with that. So tattoo. We can do a tattoo. I like the idea of having a scar behind where she's hiding her hair like that. So let's do that. And there are tattoo options, but you know, I did the different colored pupils, and I think this kind of takes away from it, especially this one here. So we'll go with that. We'll forgo that. Now I wish there was just kind of a random. Oh, okay. Oh, I like this one a lot. Let's go with this. Let's see some of these other ones. I haven't looked at this yet. Oh, she looks very angry. All right. Where was this one up here? I liked this one here. But let's give her different eyebrows, because I don't like those eyebrows. There we go. All right. I think this is going to be Tadpole. This looks pretty good. So let us continue. Finish. Yes, finalize my contract. So we get into the first loading screen here, and I've noticed I played for about 20-30 minutes this morning, and the load screens are long and tedious. And if you checked out my website, gamewiththeguys.com, you'll know that I have very limited time this week for recording, so I'm not going to get a chance to really edit these videos. I'm just really going to cut off the first second before I start talking, and the last little bit before I quit. So everything in between is sticking through. So it would be nice if this loaded. Here we go.
All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
May think it a bad dream. What a great hat. So you pass out and wake up, and there's so many questions. How did we get here? Why are we here? Why are we in this particular place? Why is there so much blood on the floor? Where is that werewolf coming from? So many questions. And is that blood just infinitely deep? Because he seems to be sticking his paw much deeper than what the floor level is. And so werewolves hate fire, it seems. Burns off the remainder of the clothes that it was wearing. And now the room just seems to be filled with blood. And these little disgusting... They remind me of, in Demon Souls, the little plague babies. And if that one wasn't gross enough, here comes Vagina Face. Oh, so gross. And these little skeleton... And that was a reused sound effect there. I think it might have been from Demon Souls.
You found yourself a hunter.
And so this is where we start off. And I think there was one thing I wanted to do here in the system settings. I want to bring these down, and I have not yet gotten a chance to see how the sound is gonna work in this game for me. So this might be too loud, it might be too quiet. I'm gonna have to find out. So this door opens from another side, so we'll come back and visit this place again. But I think it's cool how you can just go through and smash all the test tubes and all the research materials and whatnot. but this door does not look heavy, but it takes forever to open it. Why is that? Why does it take so long to open? And it seems that we only have one way to go. And, oh, down here we have little messages. R1, attack with right-hand weapon. Look at that nice little judo chop. Wow, there's my strong attack there. And here's another message. Let's check this out. Lock on with R3. R3? I thought it used to be L3. I don't know. We'll find out. Now, here is our first enemy encounter. And it is pretty damaged to begin with, and it's eating something there. And you're supposed to die right here, but I'm going to run past it. Goodbye, werewolf. I'm getting out of here. I'm breaking out of this joint. So let's see if we can get anywhere. I'm sure this guy is still right behind me. Let's see. Oh, I thought it was going to follow me a little bit more, but it should be right behind me, I would think. Wow. Alright. So now we've entered Yharnam here, and I don't have any weapons. I haven't really started... I haven't gotten anything to allow me to start the game. Here's some blood vials. Actually, I want to go through and read about all this stuff. Okay, Hunter's Mark, a consumable. Dangling upside-down rune etched into one's mind. Symbol of a hunter. By focusing one's thoughts on this rune, a hunter loses all blood echoes, but awakens afresh, as if all were just a bad dream. That kind of reminds me of, I think it's the soul sign? Something like that, where, you know, you lose all your souls, but you make it back safely to the Nexus. Oh, I wanted to continue on in here. I don't have any weapons yet, but I do have your starting equipment here. Starting with the black hood. Hood worn upon awakening to the nightmare of blood and beasts. Perhaps its wearer had to stay out of sight and traveled by cover of darkness. Without memory, who will ever know? And so this has a slightly different description here. Clothing worn upon awakening, that part is the same. Not typical clothing for Yharnam. Perhaps it is of a foreign origin. It is said, after all, the traveler came to Yharnam from afar. This is kind of like your imported manchettes and that all of that stuff here. So with the sullied bandage, a faint memory recalls blood ministrations involving the transfusion of unknown blood. It's Yharnam blood. And this has the same description as the foreign garb. So I don't have any other items yet. Yeah, I was supposed to be killed by that werewolf, so I've already come too far. Let's come back here and complete the beginning. I'm just looking around to see if there's any extra little doodads in here before I run back in. And that's my way back in. Is there another way to go? This has got to be locked. Closed by a device. Okay, so later on I'll be able to open that once I find said device. So let's go back in and face this werewolf. Well, I guess it's a werewolf. I don't really know what else to call it. So it's already injured. Alright, I got some good attacks on it there. Oh, okay. Getting back my blood that it's taken from me. Oh no, okay. Getting some back. I'm not doing nearly enough damage, but you can see how the mechanic works to regain your hit points, basically. And I believe in an interview with some of the dev team and the creators, they didn't want to think of the hit points as being hit points like you do in a standard RPG, but more of your will to live. And so that makes a lot of sense. But let's check out what's happening here. Alright, so this is the Hunter's Dream. And I got a chance to walk around here, and I believe there's notes that we can look at here. And this is kind of your tutorial. After taking damage from an enemy, there is a period in which attacking the enemy in return will restore a certain amount of your HP. And so as I was just talking about, instead of thinking that as just standard HP, think of your will to live. And as you get attacked by a beast, you think that you're closer to death, but as you fight back, you're realizing that you're stronger than you thought, and that's kind of your regaining of hit points there. Very cool. When next to a staggered enemy, visceral attack, and I believe visceral attack is kind of your charged up R2 like that. Shooting your firearm will interrupt and stagger an enemy when properly timed to their attack. So that's kind of your parry, if you will. Hitting an enemy from behind with a charge attack causes them to stagger. Excellent. So kind of a backstab, a staggering backstab. So, okay. R2, that's a strong attack, or you can charge it with magical little fist. Transform weapon, transforming weapon attack. That's going to be your L1 there. It is no longer done with triangle. Triangle is purely for healing now. And those are the blood vials that I have. Actually, let's see. I should also have some silver bullets. But they're not showing up in here. If I come back... Let's see. This is just my attire. All I have there is Hunter's Mark. I don't really have any items quite yet. Emergency Quicksilver Bullet replenishment. Used with caution. Performing this action drains HP. And so I did accidentally do this when I played for a little bit before. If you hit the up button, it doesn't change your spells like it did in the Souls games. It will give you a few silver bullets, but it takes some of your health away. And then, just like before, switching weapons, which I don't have any yet, but we'll get some. Use item. So down will toggle your item, and then... I have nothing! Oh! Tadpole's like, why is there nothing in my pocket? Let's continue through here and read these notes. Okay, so this is how you run. And did I already come this way? I think that I've already gone all through here. Yes. So now up here, we've got this creepy doll. An abandoned doll. I assume that this is going to play some relevance later. This is the Yharnam headstone. This reminds me a lot of the Nexus and Demon Souls Awakening headstone. These are different nodes, different areas to warp to. Is this all still within Yharnam? But it is... I don't know yet. Is it all still within Yharnam, or are these different lands? Is Yharnam all a continuous place that you can get to without warping between and returning to the Hunter's Dream? Unlike what you could do with the Nexus, but it'd be cool if it was kind of a mixture. Like, this is the Nexus, in a sense, and you can warp to different places, but if you didn't want to, you could run from all the way to the beginning to the end. So there's the Awakening. Okay, so those ones aren't awake yet. A gift from the messengers. And I can't get through there yet. I'll come back to these guys in just a minute. I know over this way is a little merchant. A little disgusting, one of these little plague babies. Trade in blood echoes with messengers to buy and sell items. And at the time, I have no blood echoes. I could sell some of these. I could sell some of my equipment. But I will not do that at this moment. I'll have to check that out later. And, oh, look at these flowers kind of bouncing out of the way as I go through. Makeshift altar. Short ritual root chalice is required to conduct a ritual. And I don't know what a holy chalice. I don't know what these chalices are. I haven't found anything like that yet. So, third ritual. More and more stuff. Fifth ritual. And up here, this does nothing. What do we have over here? This path appears linked to the nightmare, but there are no messengers. So, kind of limited in what we can do right now. That is also closed. But there's a little path back here. I don't know if there's any more notes or anything. But here's another little... Stump appears linked to the nightmare, but there are no messages. So, more stuff is going to unlock in here as we go, but it is kind of barren at the moment. And there's a few little paths that you can go to. These all wrap back around to each other. So it's time now to choose our equipment. And, oh, geez, I was holding down that X button to run. I played Lords of the Fallen more recently than Souls or something, I guess. I don't know. So the messengers offer you a trick weapon. Choose one trick weapons. Choose one. Trick weapons are wielded with the right hand and employed in beast hunting. So the saw cleaver that we saw so much in the previews of the game, and you can see the attribute requirements and the bonuses. So if I hit, let's see, let me actually get out of here and come into your stats. And if I hit R3, this will tell you, this gives you some idea of what's going on here. So the total value of Hunter's overall attributes, I'm only at 10 right now. I have 0 blood echoes. So vitality governs your HP. Endurance governs your stamina and resistances. Strength, attribute governing heavy physical weapon attack, determines whether or not you can use certain weapons. Skill is going to be your dex, nuanced physical weapon. Blood tinge, attribute governing power of weapons that use QS bullets, so your Quicksilver bullets. Blood tinge is going to be related to the gun, I guess. And then arcane. Attribute governing power of arcane attack determines whether or not you can use certain equipment. So arcane always reminds me of sorcery in some sense, but I haven't found any other clues yet. Your hit points here, we have stamina, discovery level. This is, I think, goes back to Demon Souls, where your standard discovery was 100, and you can increase it by using either items or increasing your luck. I don't really know what else. So right now, since I'm barehanded, everything is at 25 for my attacks here. We have our physical defense. That's just kind of your default level there is this 10. Poison resistance, rapid poison. So this is kind of like plague versus poison, or toxic versus poisonous. And frenzy, resistance to lure of frenzy. The higher this attribute, the more resistant you are. So I don't know what frenzy is yet. Beasthood. The higher this attribute, the closer you are to beasthood when temporarily transformed. I don't know about beasthood yet. So here are physical resistance damage reductions here. Blunt, thrust, blood attacks, arcane attacks, fire, and bolt. Those make sense. So let's get out of there. Let's choose a weapon. So we can do the saw cleaver, or this is the hunter's axe. Let's actually look at the descriptions. One of the trick weapons of the workshop, commonly used in hunting business. In the hunting business. This saw, effective at drawing the blood of beasts, transforms into a long cleaver that makes use of a centrifugal force. The saw, with its set of bloodletting teeth, has become a symbol of the hunt, and only grows in its effectiveness the more grotesquely transformed the beast. Oh, so maybe it actually gains strength with your beastliness? And so we have the hunter axe, one of the trick weapons of the workshop, commonly used in the hunt. Retains qualities of an axe, but offers a wider palette of attacks by transforming. Boasts a very heavy blunt attack, leading to a high rally potential. No matter their past, beasts are no more than beasts. Some choose this axe to play the part of the executioner. And we also have the threaded cane. One of the trick weapons of the workshop, hunters on their duties. Sufficiently deadly as a rigid blade cane, but also serves as a whip when its blade is split into many. Concealing the weapon inside the cane and flogging the beast with the whip is partly an attack of ceremony, an attempt to demonstrate to oneself that the bloodlust of the hunt will never encroach upon the soul. So I'm looking at the attack ratings of these, and I'm going to go kind of in the middle. I'm going to go with the saw cleaver. I know that you've kind of seen it already with, I assume this is my right. Oh, I don't. Or is that a left? Here's my right. Okay, let's put the saw cleaver in my right. There it is. All right, we got it. So here are my choices for pistols or blunderbuss. So the hunter pistol. Pistol made at the workshop for hunters stalking beasts. Hunter firearms are specially crafted to employ quicksilver bullets fused with the wielder's own blood, boosting damage against beasts. The pistol is a quicker draw than the blunderbuss, allowing for speedier responses to attacks. And then here is the blunderbuss. Created the workshop for Hunter's line of work. Hunter firearms are specially crafted to employ quicksilver. We already saw that part. The impact of this highly effective weapon counters beasts' swift movements, and its widespread is nigh on guaranteed to hit the mark. Let's see what the... So, blood attack... I don't really... Okay, so... Alright, so this is a... Looking at the requirements down below there, and they both have the same... if I can get down here... Come on. Ow. So these are the minimum attributes. Okay, I can't go to the individual one, but... Oops, let's get out of there. I'm going to go with the pistol. Let's try that out. And in here I can go ahead and put my hunter pistol. So now I've got that ready. And a notebook received from the messengers to leave messages with these loyal servants to share them with hunters in other worlds. So this is going to kind of be like your soapstone for writing and stuff. But let's go ahead. Well, let's see. Can I? Oh, I can't use my notebook yet. Well, let's head back to Yharnam. There's a werewolf that I need to kill. So, first floor, sick room. Heading on back to Yharnam. So we'll head back over there, and I'm just going to kill the werewolf real quick, and then I'm going to have to call it quits for this first episode. It's already over half an hour long, and as I mentioned on my website, I'm very limited on recording time this week, and I really just wanted to get a few things out onto YouTube so you know that I want to play Bloodborne, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself too much. I'm not gonna. I like to play games in my spare time too, obviously, but there we go. And we've got new messages here. Okay, we already saw that one. Our backstep and rolls to shoot. Options menu, and was this the other one we already had? Okay, so now this werewolf stands to be... once you locked onto target, you will quick step instead of rolling. So let's go ahead and bust this guy up. Now I've got a weapon. And yeah. My blood echoes retrieved. Oh, he's got something. Let's search this corpse. He's got some blood vials for me. So that's something that's new in Bloodborne is instead of just leaving a bloody spot on the ground, you have to go back and kill the beast that killed you. And that's how you will revive your blood echoes. So, I have no personal effects. I wish there were ways for me to bow and say thank you for watching, but I'll just have to do it with my voice. So thank you for watching, everyone. If you want to find out what's going on in my gaming world, head over to GameWithTheGuys.com, and while you're there, leave comments on the posts, but more importantly, you should leave comments on the YouTube page. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. Leave those comments, hit that like button. Let's talk about this. What kind of things do you want to see me do in this playthrough? So if you tell me what you're interested in seeing, I'm gonna end. I'm gonna try to have my playstyle go in that manner. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time on Game with the Guys.